All right, guys, so welcome back to my channel. It's been almost a year since I last updated anything on YouTube. So I'm sorry about that. It's been a very busy year. So I did make it. I'm in the Air Force now. I shipped out December 4th of last year to BMT in San Antonio, Texas at Lackland. Um, I went through technical training, and I'm currently on station in Charleston at Joint Base Charleston, where my wife is also stationed. So all of that worked out just fine. Now, what I wanted to kind of give you an overview of today was what BMT was like being 32 years old. For me, I guess since my previous career was in law enforcement, I'd been to many different schools and academy and stuff. So I'm used to people yelling at me. That really wasn't that big of a deal. It seemed very traumatic for others, but not as bad as I actually expected it to be. It does suck, and you can laugh about it now. You definitely don't laugh about it while you're there, but it really wasn't that bad. When I first got there, I remember my first job in the flight was guidon bear, and that lasted all of like a day and a half until I got fired for messing something up with the guidon. So it is what it is. But literally that same afternoon, I kind of took charge in a situation where we had our civilian clothes. We had to like put our civilian clothes away super fast from the laundry. And we couldn't because nobody knew whose clothes was what. Like it was a fucking nightmare. So I remember going to the MTI's office and like reporting like I was supposed to and asking if we could have more time to do it later. And he told me, well, we've got somewhere to be, so somebody has to make a business decision. So I went in to the day room and told all the rest of the flight, like, hey, just stop what you're doing. Let's put it back in the laundry bags or the laundry carts. He's going to give us more time to do it later. Let's just get the fuck out of here. So that kind of sealed my fate. From that day on, I ended up being dorm chief. I figure a lot of it had to do with the fact that they talk to you and they figure out how old you are and what you used to do before you joined, because I'm such an old trainee. So so expect that if you are in your 30s and you go to BMT, more than likely they will try to make you be dorm chief or put you in some sort of leadership role, whether it be squad leader or anything like that. So just expect it. It really wasn't bad. I went through the winter months, so our PT was in the afternoon. It wasn't in the mornings. It really wasn't that bad to me. The worst part was just being away from my family and my son. That really sucked. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about the job I got. So my job is I'm a 2F031, which is a fuels distribution specialist or fuels journeyman, whatever you want to call it. Basically, my job is to distribute fuel to any resources that need it on any military installation. So obviously putting fuel on aircrafts, putting diesel fuel on or in machines to do whatever they need to do, construction, forklifts, K-loaders, doesn't matter. Whatever it is, we're the ones that get the fuel on base, store the fuel, maintain the fuel quality, check the lab stuff for the fuel to make sure it's of the right quality and the plane's not going to crash whenever it flies with it, things like that. And then we put it on planes and kind of maintain that mission. So it's a 24/7, 365 flight line operation. I really enjoy it. There's different like aspects. You can work distribution, which is like putting fuel on aircraft. You can work in the lab, which is taking fuel samples and maintaining the quality. You can work in hydrants. They have these piping systems that run under the flight lines to allow for easy refueling of an aircraft. I mean, a C-17 can take literally like 200,000 pounds of fuel. So it takes a while to fuel it if you're going to use a truck that only holds 6,000 gallons. So they have these piping systems that run under the ground. So you can just hook up, it's like a hydrant. It's kind of like a fire truck using a hydrant to fight a fire. It works the same way, except we just pump fuel out of the ground onto the aircraft. So it's got lots of different things you can do. I really enjoy it. It worked out great because my job literally is on pretty much every base. So no matter where my wife gets stationed, I can follow her, or vice versa. Technical training. My technical training was at Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas. Everybody talks about Shepherd. They have the best DFAC, that is for sure. But they don't, the weather, I just hated the weather because of when I went. It would be 70 degrees one day, and the next it would be 30 degrees with the wind blowing like 40 miles an hour. So it just, Texas weather in the time frame that I went is very unpredictable. And you go from sweating your butt off to freezing your butt off in the same day. The wind never stopped in Texas. That's something I was not anticipating. I'm so used to like Georgia weather where there's trees everywhere and it stops the wind. Texas, there's nothing to stop the wind, and it blows like crazy. But that's kind of just a quick update, guys. If you have specific questions, which I'm sure you do, please comment below on what you want me to talk about. I can address some of the questions that I already looked at. I kind of commented on, but everything seemed to work out great for me being in my 30s. I feel like this was probably the best thing that's ever happened to my family and I, stability-wise. We're in a financial situations and financial stability that we've never been in before. We just purchased our first home like about 4 months ago. So it really was a great experience and a great idea. So let me know what you think.